Today is my first day working at the Beringia Center, and as you can see, it's a museum full of old bones from the Ice Age time, and I'm working on my scimitar cat. Here's somebody else's interpretation of a scimitar cat. So, a little heavier than what I have. They were very powerful cats because they were designed to bring down mammoths and other large prey, but I think they may have made him a little too heavy here because according to all the other reconstructions I've looked at, they were a lighter cat than this. But still, pretty good reconstruction, and it will help me a lot with mine. And you can't always trust the proportions though with these skeletal reconstructions, because they often took bones from different specimens and put them into one. Plus, with the backbone, in life there's little discs in between each vertebra, and as you can see they haven't added those, and that will make the whole animal seem much shorter than it really is. So that makes, you can't rely on the proportions on something that's reconstructed like this. You have to adjust for it. So I'm going mostly with the drawings that I found on the internet because they're quite consistent, and they create a animal that is similar looking to this but has a smaller rear end, very powerful front end for grasping the megafauna, a longish neck, and a much smaller head than they've shown here. So I'm going to make mine more like what I found on the internet. I don't think this one is quite as much in proportion as it should be, although it's quite well done. The reason I'm doing a scimitar cat as opposed to a saber-toothed cat is because the scimitar cat occurred in the Yukon. Saber-toothed cats did not. They were more an animal that occurred more in the south and in Europe, but not here in the Yukon. I would like to just tell you the difference between a scimitar cat and a saber-toothed cat. So the saber-toothed cat is what you're more used to, and it had these huge canine teeth. The scimitar cat was similar, but its canine teeth weren't quite as large. They were larger than modern cats, but they were much smaller than that of a saber-tooth. Homotherian serum, that's the scientific name for the American scimitar cat. So this is the scimitar cat. And now I start on my scimitar cat. So here goes. Bringing out the putty. So this is what I'll be using. So the parts A and parts B, mix them together in equal amounts, and then I've got about an hour to work with it. So I will start. I just want to show you how I mix the two pieces of resin together. So I've got both parts. There's a slightly different color to each one. One is A and one is B. And I basically make a ball of it, a ball of B, have them both roughly the same size, and then you just have to moosh them together. That can take a minute or two. I have finished mixing it, and once it's mixed, then you take little bits of it and you just add it to your armature. Add it to your sculpture, and then I've got about an hour to work it, and once it's hard I can carve it and sand it, and that's what I'll do. And then I have to do another layer and slowly get it more and more to a finished product. And it's somewhat water soluble, so you can use water to smooth things out with and help get it onto your armature. I like this material a lot. It's very versatile and it's reasonably inexpensive compared to other sculpture media. And I like doing direct work. I don't like to make molds. The molds are extremely expensive to make and very time consuming. I got the first layer of resin onto my scimitar cat, and I'm not too unhappy with it. The neck may be a little bit too long, but I love the movement, and so far I am happy. So the next step will be to take my carving tool and fine tune the roughing out, and then another layer of resin, some more fine tuning, another layer of resin, and so on. These sculptures do take a very long time to make, but it'll be worth it at the end. I think I'll have something pretty cool for my new studio. That's the main purpose of making these sculptures, is that I need some artwork for my new studio, because the new studio is going to be a video prop, and to be an artist studio it's going to need artwork, and the Scimitar cat will be one of them. Very snowy and cold out there, getting dark early. Let's see, it's still quite warm. It's only about -10, -15 out there, which is quite warm for the Yukon winter. So far so good. Been snowing all day. This is just a superb place to work. Not only did I do 4 solid hours on this guy, which is quite a record because it can get a little boring and repetitive. And if I was working at home, I probably would have quit and done something more fun. But because I'm here, I keep on working. And I got done what I wanted to get done. And the space is just fantastic. This is just like the best place to work. And the view is great. Now, time to pack up, go home, and next week I will be working on the quagga. This guy will be set aside for a while, so I get the other two on the way.